Okay, hey, how's it going?
Hey.
Well, I had the opportunity this weekend to go in, and I'm all into blogging and writing. I have a poetry blog and everything, and I made some new friends on my called TMI Chef. Don't ask. I call it creative TMI, but I met some really cool poets, and one of them, his name is BryanBorland. Oh, and I got to give a shout out to JessieCarty.com, great poet too. But I had the opportunity to go in and hear Bryan read at the Rainbow Book Fair in New York City, and he's 30 years old, and we hooked up a few months ago, and he saw me and said, "Oh my God, a chef and a poet, I'm in love," and I don't know, then we started talking. Turns out we have so much in common. We both had loss and grief, and but he's 30 years old, and I would read his poetry on his website and just be like in awe that he could write that well when it took me another almost 20 years later to get near some of the stuff he says and writes. But he's a gay poet in Arkansas. He's probably got a lot more up against him than I probably ever had growing up in Texas. But I got his book on Saturday called My Life is Adam, and all I can say is I read his poetry online, but man, when I picked this book up yesterday, I started reading this stuff, reading out loud. It just really came to life. And I got to share some with you. This is called The Dead Sea Scrolls. I kept them hidden from my mother, the notes my brother left, in a shoebox under his bed, mostly from his girlfriends, some in his handwriting, undelivered or unfinished. I knew I was gay the year he died. His room felt the way houses do when their families leave them, a cold and quiet winter with the curtains drawn. I read every one, searching for an explanation, trembling like a three-legged dog who had not yet mastered the new distribution of weight. Thank you. Talking to Bryan about him losing his brother at 13, that's how old my son was when my daughter passed away, and just hearing things how he described on Saturday about his mother, it's just wild. It's just really wild. This is called Autumn. I like this because I like autumn, but it really touched me. Autumn. You never had a chance, barely bone and mass, of dark hair like your mother, my biological proving ground, the sum of two mistakes, the subtraction of possibility. For this you suffered an end before you began. I was not consulted or considered. What value is the opinion of a 19-year-old father? You were to be a woman, you were to be a queen, but then you weren't to be at all. Not a memory or a cry, not a political statement, but a life inverted, suctioned away. Our stupidity was the death of you. The first winds of October carry your name. This world without dirt to cover your remains, empty of a ghost to haunt two fools who invented and erased you. Thank you. See what I mean? BryanBorland.com. You can order that book. Okay, the next book I'm going to read out of is definitely an old soul. Somebody I met a couple of years ago. He just kind of showed up at our open mic that we had in the bowels of the Plainsboro Library. Pasqualevarallo. that sexy 80-year-old that if I was only a little older, I'd be chastening. This is his second book, Waiting for the Kiss by Pasquale. His first book, A Beautiful Woman, did really well, so I was excited when he came out with this one, and he wrote about me in the beginning, so kind of was famous. This is called Winter's Thin Veil, and this is for that weather that we're having out there, that cold, rainy, we're having the beautiful sunshine this week, but Winter's Thin Veil by PasqualeVarallo. Winter's virgin veil is worn thin and torn. Its essence, almost spent, runs downhill, nourishing her younger sister, Spring, who waits in the earth's bower. Souls rejoice at the prospect of her rebirth. Soon, soft, warm breezes will herald young sister's arrival. Bulbs, like anxious children, are stirring after months of dormition. The doe with suckling, newly born offspring anticipate green grass shoots to graze and sweeten their milk. This, too, is the time for courtship, butterflies and bees, as their kin are Mother Nature's handmaids, their nectar filling their wells. Flowers flirt and await fertilization from these fluttering suitors. Can we not see also the glade turning green? Perhaps there will be young loves strolling in a path, walking hand in hand, shy hearts beating together, gazing into each other's eyes, dimly, aware of their surroundings, then overcoming the anxiety of rejection, a first kiss. Winter, like her veil no longer virgin white, slowly withdraws, giving way to spring. I hope I just blessed it. Okay. This one I just kind of wrote on the way here. I never do this, but my good friend Joyce called from Dallas last night, and we met in the onslaught of the 80s. I was this sheltered country girl from Texas, and she was a New York City gone wild in Texas. So I wrote this for her. It's for all the laughs. Joyce. She is a poet of the 80s, hair, swagger, my party animal madam, backseat grooving debutante, whose laughter with mine harmonized, down off Lower Greenville, service bar scheme, Sunday hangovers, Costa's drunken shrooms brought the nights to life. She, not totally responsible for my down-on-the-knees discoveries, deep Elm open mic, words come to life, Chumley, David's New York City Barfield, dingy bathroom poetry, naked chairs, observances, eyes wide open. Marijuana on the breeze, Club 1, unisex bathroom threesomes, shotguns that were really smoking. A trip, genealogy connection, Ireland, Johnny's and Jimmy's, time will never replace, low-calorie whiskey, tilting, pigs in cabin, shepherd's pie, pub food slopped on our plates, thumbs up, we give them all a good rate. No, they will never be the same. She, Joyce, a once poet, made a devil cry, opened a world, a reason to believe. No, they will never be the same, nor I. Thank you.